This is The Girl He Claimed, a Paige King mystery, Book 8, written by Blake Pierce, narrated by Susannah Resnikoff. Chapter 1. How much further to the top? Chrissy wasn't entirely sure why she'd agreed to go out hiking with Martin. Hiking wasn't really her thing, but saying yes had seemed like the obvious response when he'd asked her to come out with him. She'd been trying to impress him, but there had to be an easier way than this. As they trudged up a steep incline, sweat drenched their clothes, and the sun bore down on them relentlessly to the point where Chrissy was starting to wonder if it was really worth it. Then she looked at Martin, taking in just how good-looking he was, with a tall frame and chiseled physique shown off by his tight t-shirt. At that moment, Chrissy started to remember why she was making this effort. They had only been on a couple of dates, and she still felt a bit nervous around him, but the more they hung out, the more comfortable she became. Chrissy was hoping that this trip might be the moment when they took things to the next step, the one she'd imagined ever since the two of them met in a bar a couple of weeks ago. Martin looked at her with a grin. "Not much further. Just a little bit more and we'll reach the lookout point." Chrissy nodded and pushed forward. Her hiking boots crunched on the gravel path. She had to admit the scenery was beautiful. The trees were tall and lush, and the air was crisp and fresh. It was a nice change from the stuffy city air she was used to. "Maybe we could take a break," Chrissy suggested, partly because Martin's idea of not far didn't fit with hers, and partly because she'd thought of at least one thing she'd rather be doing with Martin than hiking. Chrissy grabbed his arm and pulled him onto a small side path. She took the opportunity to graze his lips with hers, promising more. "Come on, we'll still get to the lookout point, but I can think of other things that are far more fun to do first," she said. If Martin was slightly taken aback by Chrissy's sudden move, he still didn't resist. He wrapped his arms around her waist, pulling her closer to him as their kiss grew deeper and more passionate. Chrissy moaned softly, enjoying the feel of Martin's lips on hers. She could feel the tension building between them, and she knew that they both wanted more. "It looks like there's a clearing over there," Chrissy said. It looked like it was a good spot for everything that she had in mind. Better than the path, at least. Martin followed her, his hand still tightly clasping hers. The clearing was surrounded by trees, but open to the sky. Wildflowers stood around the edges in a riot of color. The sun shone down on them, casting golden light over their skin. It should have been beautiful. It should have been perfect. But instead, Chrissy froze in place, staring in open-mouthed horror at what lay in the middle of the clearing. She clung to Martin's arm, choking back a scream, barely able to bring herself to look. A body. There was a body in the clearing. Chrissy felt as though...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?